All right. Today we'll be talking about data sharing for effective carbon farming. So my colleague Tommy and Chris supported my research. We are working at Flanders Research Institute for Agriculture, Fishery, Food, ELVO in Belgium. So we will share some insight from MARVIC and Credible project. Briefly, MARVIC is to develop MRV framework, which is harmonized and context specific for providing the private and public carbon farming scheme developer a standard approach for MRV design. We are coordinating MARVIC, and for Credible, we are building up a European network on carbon farming. We established 11 technical focus group to address the most challenging questions in carbon farming. We also organized 2 carbon farming summit. So yeah, we are leading one of the focus group I will talk about in a minute. Yes, so soil organic carbon is a fundamental component for healthy soil. And a lot of mission soil projects funded to support the European carbon removal and carbon farming regulation, CRCF. Peter already emphasized this is important to have this robust MRV system, upscale carbon removal activities, while the accurate MRV much rely on the data, high quality data, soil data, crop data, and farm activity data. Yeah, so we already know the importance of long-term monitoring site, which has intensive monitors, data stored. So the role of this LTM site can be used for model calibration, validation, simplification, also validate for MRV approaches, and direct evidence of carbon farming effects. Also, we can evaluate the long-term impact of climate change. Well, here we listed the long-term monitoring network. Also, we have some challenges. It's difficult to get access to this data. Well, we don't have effective data sharing mechanism. So that's why we want to discuss this, how to use LTM data in the context of carbon farming. This is the focus group we are leading. So we gathered a lot of experts, more than 20 members in our focus group, researchers, and also a private company, the carbon farming developers, they're there. So we basically gather the data provider, the LTM owners, and also the data users. It can be public or private use. We are gathering together to discuss the challenges, how to make this LTM data fair and findable, accessible, interoperable, and reusable. So that's what we do in the focus group conversation. And then after the focus group discussion, we present our results and discuss with a broader audience in the Carbon Farming Summit. Last month, we just had the second Carbon Farming Summit in Dublin, and we attracted quite some stakeholders. Happy to discuss with broader stakeholders. The final goal of our focus group is to build a set of guideline considerations for LTM to support local carbon farming scheme and also to make data fair. So beyond the so the data sharing challenge is beyond the LTM data. We recognize it's a bit difficult to share the data across sectors. So we want to kind of create synergy between public and private sector. So for the researchers, the difficulty is they are not sure what this data will be used for. And also it's unclear if they have this permission to share this data. Often this is funded by public money, but sometimes also the research own capital was invested. Sometimes the data is not ready yet, not in the right form to share, so it's not fair enough to share this data. While in the company side, of course, the and farm data is the costliest part of the research. It's linked to the competitive advantage, while also it's related to the privacy, also permissions. Maybe the clients own the data, they are not allowed to share this data. Okay, we identify there is mutual benefits by data and knowledge sharing. We just need to work on trust by clearly identify how to use the data and proper licensing to foster this cross-sector collaboration. Here we give 3 main recommendations from the session we organized in the Carbon Farming Summit. First, collect once, use many times. Farmers often receive this data requests. They are used for different purpose. They are similar data, but then how to avoid this fatigue, always collect the same data, and errors and efficiency of this data collecting and reporting. There are some digital tools available. Some of them are even interoperable data sharing platform. Here I listed some options, public funded and also private sectors. So this can help the farmers easily to collect the primary data and also share with existing system via the API system. Ensure the data is entered once and can be used for different purposes, for carbon projects or scope 3 emissions. The goal is to reduce administrative burden for farmers, also increase the data sharing for MRV and compliance. Second, implement clear data sharing agreements and incentive exchange. So how to deal with this mistrust between private and public sector? Here we propose some potential solutions. Adopt dual license or standard data agreements to distinguish commercial and non-commercial research and ensure the data is properly cited. And second is user this federated modeling or running exist models that you can share the model output without sharing the whole data. This also could be a potential solution. Another thing is introduce a research commenting period, allowing the data contributor, the researchers, to review the report of the company within days, for instance, and implement a transparent publication procedures for the reviews. So within this certain period of time, researchers can agree or disagree on this. We just need to have guidance. Enhance the trust can also by paying some small fee for data exchange. This fee will be used to maintain this long-term monitoring. We come to the third one is extend long-term monitoring sites to on-farm monitoring network. So the current LTM site is not well designed for the carbon farming purposes. Often it's not a representative hydroclimate regions, and certain carbon farming practices not existing in LTM, or the plot is too small for the remote sensing or EO product to detect. So we propose to extend to on-farm monitoring network, including commercial farms, to capture the real-life condition related to carbon farming. This helps us to validate to MRV tools at field scale and enhance overall accuracy. Some key messages. The value chain, a different stakeholder may have different interests for data sharing. So it's important to engage all the stakeholders to this data collecting and sharing for the transition of sustainability. Well, the select ones used many times can reduce the reporting burden for farmers. So by using this user-friendly digital tools and develop some clear defined dual license, federated learning approaches, incentive exchange can enhance this trust and foster data exchange between public and private sector, and extend LTM to on-farm monitoring network with real-life farm data for MRV validation in carbon farming. So this is some take-home messages. If you are interested in our report, this report will be available by the end of April. Can check the website of Credible. Maybe before question. Not only the data sharing, we also provided some recommendations for baseline, also in setting for carbon farming. This report recommendations will be available on the website of Credible. Please check that. Just wonder if you have any questions. I'm happy to answer, or you have some success story to share about data sharing cross sectors. I'm also happy to hear.